Dear listener, may I welcome you to the 111 Tips for Learning a Language. You are listening to episode 103. Today's episode title is How Solution-Focused Brief Therapy, or otherwise known as SFBT, can help you learn a language. Throughout this podcast series, we have explored how our inner world, which is our thoughts, our beliefs, and unconscious patterns, shapes our language learning journey. Today, we will return to a profoundly practical and evidence-based approach, the Solution-Focused Brief Therapy, SFBT. Developed by Steve DeShazer and Inso Kim Berg, SFBT is not merely a set of principles. It is instead a paradigm shift grounded in a robust hypothesis, which is complex problems do not require complex solutions. I repeat, complex problems do not require complex solutions. Instead, they require a precise focus on what is already working. For the learner mired in a problem-saturated story of "I'm a slow learner at languages," SFBT offers a scientifically backed-out path for your language learning misery. Let's examine the core tools of SFBT and the research that confirms their power to rewire your learning process. Let's get started. Tool 1. The Miracle Question. Envisioning and activating the neural blueprint. The Miracle Question is more than an imaginative exercise. It is a tool for constructing a detailed cognitive blueprint. The practice. Imagine a miracle happens tonight and your language learning problem is solved. What is the first small concrete sign you would notice tomorrow? For example, I would get my dream job as a language teacher in this prestigious institution. Subsequently, my income would improve, and then perhaps I can buy my ideal house in the suburbs. The evidence. This technique leverages the brain's capacity for mental simulation. Neuroimaging studies show that when we vividly imagine a future scenario, we activate the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, the same networks involved in planning, memory, and motivation. A study published in the International Journal of Neuropsychotherapy in 2013 suggests that detailed future-oriented visualization can enhance goal-directed behavior by strengthening your neural pathways associated with the desired outcome. By specifying your small signs, you are not just daydreaming of fluency. Instead, you are giving your brain a specific, tangible target to recognize and to work towards. Tool 2. Identifying exceptions, the data-driven path to what works. SFBT insists that no problem happens 100% of the time. The exceptions are the critical data points that reveal your personal, pre-existing formula for success. The practice. When was there a time, even recently, when the problem was less severe or absent? What was different about that moment? The evidence. This practice is a direct application of single-case experimental design principles, where the individual is their own control subject. Yes, you can be your own control subject. You know yourself best. By analyzing the conditions of these exception moments, you move from a deficit-based model from "what's wrong with me?" to a strengths-based model. Now, what are the conditions for my success? Research on attributional retraining shows that when individuals attribute successes to internal controllable factors, example, I was well rested and used a song to learn, their motivation and self-efficacy increase. A meta-analysis in the Journal of Marital and Family Therapy found solution-focused therapy to be an efficient approach for a wide range of behavioral issues, precisely because it empowers clients to discover and replicate their own successes. Tool 3. Skilling questions, the neuroscience of incremental progress. Skilling transforms an abstract, intimidating goal into a series of manageable neurological events. The practice. On a scale from 0 to 10, where are you now? What is the one tiny thing you could do to move from a 4 to a 4.1? The evidence. This technique is powerfully supported by the science of habit formation and the dopamine loop. The brain's reward system releases dopamine not just when we achieve a big goal, but when we make progress towards it. By defining a 4.1, you create a micro goal that is almost impossible to fail. Achieving it provides you with a small dopamine hit, which reinforces your behavior and motivates you to your next step. This aligns with the concept of small wins articulated by researchers like Teresa Amabel, who found that consistent minor progress is the single most important motivator for positive inner work life. Furthermore, this method directly builds self-efficacy, which is a concept from Albert Bandura's seminal work and a proven predictor of academic persistence and success. Tool 4. The coping question, uncovering hidden resilience. When a learner feels completely stuck, the coping question shifts the focus from failure to survival, revealing underestimated strengths. The practice. Given how difficult this has been, how have you managed to prevent it from being even worse? The evidence. This question reframes the narrative from passive victimhood to active agency. It forces a cognitive reappraisal of the situation. Studies on resilience and post-traumatic growth highlight that the ability to identify one's own coping strategies is a key component of psychological resilience. By acknowledging that they have, in fact, been coping, the learner's perception of themselves shifts from fragile to resourceful, which is indeed a fundamental mindset for tackling difficult learning tasks. Closing thoughts, the architecture of your success. Solution-focused brief therapy is more than optimistic thinking. It is a rigorous, evidence-based methodology that aligns with how our brains learn and adapt most effectively. It shows us that the most direct route to change is not through exhaustive problem analysis, but through the systematic amplification of solutions that are already present in your behavior. Your language learning journey is not a blank slate. It is a landscape already dotted with resources, successes, and moments of competence. Solution-focused brief therapy provides you the map to those resources. So, I invite you to become a scientist of your own progress. Collect data on your exceptions. Chart your course with skilling questions and trust the research that confirms you are already built to progress. You simply need to focus on the architecture that is already working. Until the next time, may your focus be on your progress and your steps be small, consistent, and celebrated. Till the next episode, I wish you inspired learning. Namaste.